the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real as hell. My dad can see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real as hell. My dad can see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money. All you got is not wrong with being wealthy. Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's wrong. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yeah, I do. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for my life. Not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial mentor to the working class. Hey, Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome, my friends, to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. I truly count it an honor, privilege, and a blessing to present to you guys each and every morning. Thank you guys for so much for tuning in. You guys just don't know how much I really appreciate it and how much this keeps me going and gets me going in the morning. After I talk to you guys, I have a productive morning every morning and throughout the day because of the energy that you guys bring to me. So I truly appreciate that. And so keep it coming, keep it coming. Today is Free Game Fridays, where we recap the week's show. Then I do live Q&A with you guys. So if you got questions, get your questions ready. But as always, if you are already in business, then give me your business name or the name of your brand along with your question. That way I give you a business shout out as well. Because these shows do get viewed by about, I want to say about 300 to 400 people per day. And then that's just the day that they go live. And then, you know, there's a residual effect of another couple hundred, you know, throughout the rest of the week before, I don't know if Facebook ever takes them down or what happens. And then there's another 50 to 100 people that view the live stream via YouTube. So a business shout out could drum up some business for you guys. So that's why I want to do that for you. If you are watching this on Facebook, then do me a huge favor. Go ahead and share the stream on your timelines. Let's get more people involved in this conversation about wealth, finance, success, business. You know, we want to raise the collective IQ financially of our entire community. So please share the stream so that more people can tune in. And then also, if you're on YouTube, do the same thing. First, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And guys, if you're not on, you guys who are in love with Facebook, if you get a chance to go over to YouTube, my YouTube channel is Financial Health Mentor. So go over there and subscribe to that channel. That way you'll get updates when I do anything, because I do some live workshops over there that I don't get to stream live over here. And same thing with you guys on YouTube. Send me a friend request to my Cortez Springer profile, because I go live from Cortez Springer on Facebook, and sometimes I go live impromptu, which don't get aired on YouTube. So you can stay connected there on Facebook. But I know some people are just YouTube people, some people are just Facebook people, and they don't cross the two, and that's fine. Today's show is brought to you by, oh, no, it's not who it's brought to you by. It is who the show is for, right? Just in case you happen to stumble across this show on accident and you don't know where you are, you don't know who this bald-headed snaggletooth guy is, well, I'm going to tell you exactly who this show is for. This show is for my risers and grinders this morning. You got up this morning, put your feet on the floor, and you're running because you know you got to get up, get out, and get something every single day. This show, my friend, is for you. If you are the type of person that went to bed last night with legacy on your brain, you're thinking about what you're going to be able to do in the next day, the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years to make sure that your great grandchildren are going to be proud to bear your name, this show, my friend, is for you. If you're the type of person that has the desire to build wealth, maybe you have the discipline to build wealth, but maybe you lack a game plan, strategy, system, mentor, coach. I don't know, but there's something missing. Well, guess what? This show, my friend, is yours because we bring to you each and every morning strategies, tips, game plans on how to be successful in your finances, in your business, encouragement, uplifting words to help you get to the next level, go from glory to glory. If that is you, then this show, my friend, is for you. On the other hand, who is this show not for? Right? This show is not for the eternal pessimist, right? That person that just sees the worst in everybody and everything and sees every situation as a negative situation. I can promise you, this show, my friend, is not for you. This show is not for that person who's got that weird relationship with money. You know, those people who think capitalism is a dirty word, think money is evil. And every time somebody talks about money, they look at them sideways, like money ain't everything. Well, we know that money ain't everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff, right? So if you have that kind of relationship with money, this show ain't for you. You know why? Because the people who listen to this show start to attract money to them. And if you think money is evil, why on earth would you ever want to attract evil to yourself, right? That just wouldn't be good for you. So this show isn't for you. Now, let's be perfectly clear. I do not have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. I only have a problem with you having a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. For some strange reason, people who don't or who are satisfied with where they are, they get extremely aggravated about people who are pursuing higher and greater, right? I don't know what that's about, but if you're cool with where you are, be cool. I'm just not. I've got some things to do, right? And like I tell you on every episode, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, I want you to take a screenshot, frame that bad boy, and then hold me accountable. Watch me work over the next 5 to 10 years and see what happens. But here's the key, though. Here's the key. There's not a single billionaire on this planet that has ever got to be a billionaire without helping a few hundred people or a few thousand people become millionaires, right? So you can sit back on the sideline and watch, or you can join the race and go for yours while I'm going for mine. And guess what? Maybe we both miss our mark. Maybe I don't get to 1 billion, but maybe I land on 800 million. Maybe you don't get to 100 million, but maybe you land on 60 million, right? But you gotta get in the game, people. Gotta get in the game. And that's what this thing is all about. So if that's you, this show ain't for you. But if you keep listening, it might become a show that's for you. But just be careful, because you start listening to this show too much, you will start to attract money, success, happiness, positive people into your life. And I know some pessimistic people don't like that kind of thing. So if you tune out, we won't miss you. Appreciate that. Also, today's show is brought to you by, once again, Nove Money. This is for my credit restoration, folks. If you need credit restoration, if you understand the power of credit and you're sick and tired of dealing with poor or average credit because you can't get what you really want to get, you can't go for what you really want to go for because of your credit is holding you back, then spend the money on credit restoration, right? It's $99 a month for 4 straight months. So yes, it's $400 to get your credit cleaned up in 120 days. And then if you need more than 4 months, then it drops down to $29 a month. And then they will just continue to work with you until you're satisfied, until you get that score up to where it needs to be. I'm going through it myself. So not next week, but the week after next, because what I'm doing is I'm doing bi-weekly reports, because I'm going through it myself. And I want to hold them accountable to what they said. I heard some testimonies of people increasing their score by 60 to 100 points in 30 to 45 days. So I'm going to hold them accountable. And if they can't do what they said they do, then we're going to put them on blast on this show, and I'm going to stop promoting them. Point blank, period. So I'm doing a live case study with myself. I'm extremely transparent. I showed everybody what my credit score is now, where it's at. I showed them the platform that Nove Money puts you into because they give you credit education. They give you all of the tools to maintain good credit after they restore it for you. But they put you in this neat little platform that lets you see exactly what they're doing moment by moment, day by day, the letters that they're sending out, the communications they're having with the credit bureaus on your behalf. Powerful, powerful system. So if you want credit restoration, send me an inbox and I will send you over the information that you need to check those guys out. So today is Free Game Fridays, where we recap this week's show, but also live Q&A. We've got one question already. I'm going to answer that in a second, but let me recap really quickly the shows that we did this week. That maybe that might jog your memory of some things that you wanted to ask during those shows, or if you want to bring some questions back to the table, you're certainly welcome to do that, and I will answer them again. Thursday, we talked about economic empowerment in the Black community, how we need to own not just land, not just businesses, but we also need to own production, right? The power in owning the production of all things that we consume, right? Just think about everything that Black people can consume as a community at large. If we owned the production, not just the retail outlet that sells those things, but the actual production and manufacturing of those things, then we are definitely in a place where there is no 50% joblessness rate, unemployment rate in our community amongst our young people, because we own the factories and the things that we need to be able to hire them, right? But the problem is we don't own production, and you can only hire so many people in a retail store. You can only hire so many people in a restaurant, right? But if we start producing the food sold in those restaurants, then we hire more people on the farms. We hire more people in the trucking industry who will be responsible for delivering the produce from the farms to the wholesalers and the processors. We hire more people in the packaging department who will be providing the packaging that those materials go into, right? So we got to start thinking about how we can own production and not just the retail outlets to purchase the things that we buy, but also the wholesale, also the buyers, also the manufacturers, also owning land from which all of the raw materials are derived from. Gotta. Live stream is cutting out. Yeah, it gets weak every now and then. Sorry about that. It's just my connection here. So I'm gonna have to boost my signal some kind of way. Maybe I'll look at a new router this weekend and figure that thing out. So that was yesterday's show. So if you're interested in my thoughts and my take on Black economic empowerment in the Black community, then you can watch yesterday's stream, or you can go over to YouTube, Financial Health Mentor, and you can see the stream there. And that's, that's it. That's my take on that. And I hope you notice that I'm solutions oriented. We all know the problems, right? We know white supremacy and racism is a real problem for us. We know that post-traumatic slave syndrome is a real problem for us. That's a real disease. That's a real illness that we're dealing with. So that is a real problem. But I like to talk more about solutions because I think we have enough people who have already talked about the problems, and we have enough people who are continuing to talk about the problems and reminding us of the problems. And sometimes talking about the problems induces fear and keeps us from taking action. So I like to break down how simple the actions are that we need to be taking, and maybe that we'll get some action takers along the lines. And you guys can give me some likes and some hearts if I say anything that's making sense to you. And the reason that's important is because the more you guys respond to the show, the more it shows Facebook that people are listening and tuning in, and they will present the show to more and more people. So when I first go live and Facebook says they're building an audience, they use those statistics on how they build the audience. So how well people are responding and liking and commenting and all of that kind of stuff. So do me that favor if I'm saying anything that's making sense to you. Now, if I'm saying something that ain't making sense to you, it's your duty to give me crickets, right? It's your duty. So that is, we did that on Thursday. Wednesday, we talked about why network marketing don't work for a lot of people, right? Why network marketing don't work for a lot of people. There's a handful of reasons. Number one is because people just have a raggedy mindset. and we have been groomed to be the perfect employee our entire life. So when you start a network marketing company, now all of a sudden you're trying to shift or break the shackles of being that person and becoming a business person. And that's a difficult transition. We've also been put in a place where gratification is instant. So when it comes to network marketing companies and building businesses, that is not instant. So what tends to happen is you put in a week's worth of work. Next week, you're looking for a paycheck because that's what you're used to. Well, in business, it don't work that way. You have to build up momentum in your business before your pay and commission start to become regular. And most people can't deal with putting in work for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 weeks with no results, because they can't see the results. But the results are there. The results are the growth that it takes, because I promise you, if you keep going at something for 6 to 12 weeks in business, and you keep growing, you keep getting better, the results are happening. You just don't see them, right? So I want you to think about this. There's an ancient string of bamboo plant, right, where for 4 or 5 years, it grows completely underground. And it literally seems like nothing is happening for 4 or 5 years. And then year 4, year 5, that thing starts to grow so fast that you can almost hear it growing. Right? So what happens is, underground, it builds this massive, massive root system. And when that thing starts to shoot up, it grows like a 1/4 inch a day or something like that. And I don't know if you guys know plants and you know, botany and things of that nature, but anything that grows like a 1/4 inch a day, that thing is growing at a rapid pace, right? So that's what happens when you get into business and you plug into a good system. You got a good mentor in your life. You start to develop this massive root system inside. So people on the outside can't really see what's happening with you. They know something is bubbling, and then they can't really see it. And then all of a sudden, they see the ground, the earth above you just start to shake and tremble a little bit. And then they see a little shoot pop out. And then all of a sudden, they look back. They look at you today, and then they look at you at 6 months from now, and you're a completely different person. And they're wondering, how did you grow so fast in 6 months? No, I didn't grow fast in 6 months. I grew slowly over 5, 6 years. The evidence of that growth just appeared in the last 6 months, but the growth has been taking place for 6 years. So that's what network marketing does, but most people don't stick around long enough to get the full benefits of it, right? And that's why we teach that when you start a network marketing business, start taking advantage of the tax code to bring more money in your household. Now you got the money to grow that business, to buy the books and the materials that you need to grow as a leader, to grow as an entrepreneurial thinker and things of that nature. So you don't take your job money and start funneling it into a business. You get that money back from Uncle Sam, and then you can use that to build your business. That keeps down conflicts in the house, because the wife or the husband ain't saying, you're taking all of our money and putting it into this business. Nope. I'm taking money from Uncle Sam and putting it into the business. The money that we get from our jobs continues to take care of the household, pays the bills, and I'm going to make this thing produce and pay for itself. So there's a lot of reasons network marketing don't work for a lot of people, but number one, people don't stick with it long enough, and they don't understand the transition that needs to take place. I can't wait to earn one of those shirts. It's all good, man. Just keep grinding, and you'll get there. I promise. I promise you. And then the other thing is, sometimes they join network marketing companies, and the people they join don't set proper expectations, guys. Stop telling people that they're going to be rich or they're going to be wealthy in 2 months, in 90 days. Stop showing them the example of the person who is making $50,000 a month, and you don't know that that person making $50,000 a month brought in 10,000 people from a previous organization, and now they blew up really quickly. So now that's not a proper expectation for everybody, right? So you got to set expectations properly when you're introducing people to your network marketing company, or when you're going to look at a network marketing company. Ask them honestly, what can I honestly expect from a terms of putting in the time and the hours that it takes me to develop a strong residual? What can I honestly expect from a commission standpoint in the first 90 days, in the first 6 months, in the first year, and things of that nature, right? So expectations have to be set properly, and I think more and more people will give it an honest and fair shot. On Tuesday, we talked about what you need to know about credit. That's when I introduced you guys to my case study. Like I said, every 2 weeks, we're going to jump back into that case study so that you can see what's going on with my account, how they're handling it. I'm expecting to receive some letters back from the credit bureaus this week. This week coming up, where they're going to say, you know, they recognize that I'm disputing some things, and then they're going to send me, you know, the letters, and then I get them over to Nove Money, and then they're going to take those letters and they're going to keep working on my behalf. But we talked about what you need to know about credit. You need to know that to have a good name, which is your reputation, which is your credit in the business world, is better than silver and gold. Because whenever you have a good reputation in business, then you can go get all the silver and gold that you want. Right? Looks like the stream is getting a little weak, so I apologize if it is. But understanding the power of credit and how you can leverage credit, that's why we teach sternly that you need to get out of debt personally. That helps improve your credit score. And once your credit score is at a certain level, you can leverage that credit score to get business credit. And now you use your business credit to buy your assets, right? So credit is powerful. Just understand that you need to have good credit. 720 or above is a good starting point. A good milestone to reach is 700. And then you keep climbing to that 720 mark. 720 allows you to personally guarantee any business credit. Even if your business is relatively new, if you're going to guarantee it with your personal credit, then they will give you those lines of credit for your business. Now you can take that business credit and get the equipment that you need to run your business. Get the maybe you use that credit to buy a rental property. Maybe you use that credit as a down payment on a lease or for a building. Whatever the case is, now you have capital to run your business, right? And then on Monday, we talked about you taking an honest look at your finances. Key word in that phrase is honest. Underline it, bold it, highlight it, put quotation marks around it, and parentheses. Honest, guys, honest. You can't get to where you want to go without first understanding where you are. And I'm speaking financially, but just in life in general. Without first understanding where you are, you'll have trouble getting to where you want to go. Because what are the two things that the GPS needs to know to get you to your destination effectively? They need to know where you are and where you're going. Some of you guys have defined where you want to go, but you haven't defined where you are. So if I am in Missouri, but I don't give the GPS where I am, my location, and I just tell them I'm trying to get to California, they're going to give me all of these routes because they don't know where I'm starting from. If you come in where you're starting from and you're honest about where you are, now you can create a roadmap, a blueprint, a diagram to get you to where you want to be. But a lot of us won't honestly admit where we are, right? We as a society has gotten really, 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 really good at hiding the fact that we're struggling. Instead, on the other hand, at getting proficient at overcoming the struggles. I'm gonna say that again because I don't think y'all heard that. We as a society have gotten really, really, really good at hiding our struggles instead of becoming proficient at overcoming our struggles. That's why you can walk out your door right now and you look at the driveways and the parking lots and the curb appeal of houses and all of that kind of stuff. And it looks like everybody in the community has got it going on. That's what it looks like. But when I tell you the statistics say that 3 out of 4 Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, you can't tell that, But that's the reality. And because we won't admit where we are, we're never going to be able to get to where we want to go, because you can't map out a plan. You can't draw a diagram. You can't use a roadmap to get you where you want to be when you refuse to admit where you are. See, I'm telling the GPS I'm trying to get to California and I'm already in Nevada. So the GPS is saying, okay, if you're trying to go from Nevada to California, that's a short trip. We can make that happen. So that's what you're doing with your finances. You're saying, hey, I want to be $10,000 a month. I want to be a millionaire. But guess what? I'm already at 500,000. So your internal GPS is telling you, oh, well, from a 500,000 to a million, that's a short trip. We can get you there in no time. In 3 or 4 years, you be there. Boom, bang, it's done. When in reality, you're at a negative 200,000. See, it takes a different game plan to get you to a million from a negative 200,000 than it does to get you to a million from 500,000. So stop telling yourself you're at 500,000 when you're at a negative 200,000. The first thing you got to do is climb to zero, because that's a process in and of itself. Once you climb to zero, then you got to climb to that first 100,000. Then you scale up by 10 and turn that 100,000 into your first million. But you got to take an honest look at where you are so you can get an honest game plan to get you where you want to be. I mentor people all. So those was Monday through Thursday shows. If you want to recap on any of those, I don't really know how Facebook does it. If you can go back and watch those live streams on Facebook, but if not, go over to YouTube to Financial Health Mentor. First thing you do when you go over there is you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then you can just look through the archives. Now, all 68 episodes are there. So if you just start tuning into the show this week, well, go look through the archives, man. We've been doing this for 68 episodes. So there's tons and tons of content on my views on building wealth, building businesses, marketing, branding, wealth building strategies, and all of the likes. So that is there. So now let's go into our Q&A for today, right? Questions and answers. Now, this thing goes as long as you guys are feeding me good questions. Today ain't the day that I feed you what I want you to hear. Today is the day that I get specific, because I know some of you guys are here and you're thinking to yourself, man, I hope he touches on this. I hope he does a show on this. I hope he does a show on that. Well, all you got to do is tell me. I don't have a problem with doing the show on what you guys want to hear about. That's what this thing is for. This stuff is for you. It's for me, but it's also for you. So tell me what you want to learn more about. All right, we did have a question. Somebody did ask, what is a good stock? What are good I don't know if Google is still a growth stock, but companies that are new and are buzzing and are climbing, right? So I'll give you an example. Wingstop, Buffalo Wild Wings, companies like that have a solid brand, but they're still in the growth phase, meaning they're trying to put up restaurants all over the country relatively quickly. See, they're in their growth phase. So if you buy their stock, chances are you're going to earn dividends, and you're going to earn your stock shares are going to increase over the next 5 and 10 years pretty rapidly, as long as they stay on their projected path. So that's a growth stock. So you can look at some of those growth stocks and some of those companies that are relatively new. You can look at how they performed in the market over the last 10 years, over the last 5 years, and if they're constantly climbing, then that will be a good indicator. And then just look at look at their branding, look at their CEO, look at their model, and see, because you can find all of that stuff when you start researching these different companies. So that would be a growth stock. You can also invest in a more stable company where they're not in growth phase, they're in stabilization phase. So you think about companies like Walmart, Sears, what will be another giant like that? Companies that have been around forever. McDonald's is in that phase now. McDonald's isn't growing where they're popping up stores everywhere. You see a new McDonald's coming into your area, it's pretty much because the McDonald's across town is closed down. They're not just trying to take over. They got 40,000, 50,000 stores worldwide. So they're not in that phase of growth, but they're stabilizing, right? So you can buy, those would be safer stocks to buy. So you would be looking at companies like that where you just hold them long term, and they're going to slowly climb little by little, but you're just pretty much maintaining value. There's not a lot of growth there, but over time, as companies appreciate over time, like most companies do, then your shares will grow. It just won't produce a dividend or an income for you. Those companies will maybe share profits with you. So somebody like Walmart, instead of the stock price continue to grow, they may just say, okay, we made $100 million in profits this year, and we're going to share a piece of that with all of our stockholders every quarter. So you can get a dividend check, and then you can turn around and reinvest that dividend check back into buy more and more shares of stocks. And you can keep doing that until you have a sizable stock portfolio. What I teach, though, is that you can look at things like corporate bond funds, where these are bonds that loan money to hundreds of corporations. And as the corporations pay that money back with interest, that's how your money grows over time. I was looking at, if you go to Financial Health Mentor, I think episode 8 or 9, I did an episode on invest wholesale versus retail. And I actually did a screen share of me going into Vanguard, looking at some of their corporate bond funds. And I think we studied a fund that paid 10.59% since 1985. So those are some of the things that we look at. And because I don't have the time in my life right now to start studying individual stocks. So I teach that method as a good introduction to how to start investing, just period. And then if you like to kind of get into individual stocks, then you can start, learning how to do that from an individual stock basis. Hopefully that makes sense. Any more questions? Let's get some questions rolling in here. But yeah, you can go check out that episode. I think it's 8 or 9 or something like that. In fact, I have it on my fan page too. I uploaded it a couple weeks ago as a rerun on a show that I went when I couldn't be here live. Let's see, other questions. Okay, what have you found found the best closing verbiage to be? I think I'm doing okay, just find myself long-winded. Okay, so Shan is a member of our Financial Success membership, and she's doing a great job of referring people to our Financial Success membership, which means she's building a residual and passive income base. So she's wondering how to close. And I use the 3-2-1 close, and this works in any network marketing. If you're or any sales or period. So I use the 3-2-1 close, Shannon, and it just basically says, you know, after I present or after I've answered questions, after I've you know, provided enough, uncovered enough value, and to keep myself from being long-winded, because as you guys know, you're on this show, I can talk for hours on end. I would just say, hey, at this point, you're the 3, 2, or 1, right? You're number 3. You don't want to mess with us at all, and that's cool. We can part as friends. I just wanted to get this information in your hand. You might be a number 2, someone who just wants this information for their own personal life, and you're not really cool with the network marketing piece. You're not really cool with the referral-based model. But remember, that's only one of our strategies. And then you may be a number 1. You might be a person like me who says, you know what, I want this for myself personally, but I also want to be the kind of person who teaches this stuff in my community. Which one of those are you? Right? So that's the 3-2-1 close. Sometimes that's usually when I'm presenting to multiple people. If I'm presenting or asking or on a one-on-one basis, I do the scale of 1 to 10 close. The scale of 1 to 10 close. So I say something like this. So you've heard what I said. I've answered your questions. Let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're ready to go right now, 1 being you don't want to mess with us at all, where do you see yourself on this scale? At least an 8 or better? So I'm asking them to tell me where they see themselves. And I put the bug out there, at least an 8 or better, because I'm giving them a hint. See, I don't work with 7s or below. But if you're at 8 or better, then I can work with you, right? So if they say that I'm an 8, and then I have a follow-up question, okay, great, I'd love to have you on the team, but tell me, what is it that I can do that can help push you up to a 10? That's me pulling more information, more ammunition, because as they continue to talk, they're giving me ammunition, they're giving me problems where I can uncover how our program has the solution for those problems, right? So I'm always pulling ammunition, and that's why you want to get out of the habit of being long-winded and get them talking, ask them questions so that you get them to give you 5 or 6 pieces of ammunition. Then you come back at them with how our program speaks specifically to those 5 or 6 points, and always continue to circle that back around. You said you wanted to build a legacy for your children. Well, let me help you understand how our program can help you do that. You said you wanted to get out of debt. Well, here's how our software will allow you to create your budgets and get money back from Uncle Sam and use that to eliminate your debts. So you get them talking so that you're taking mental notes. If you're on a phone, you take actual notes. You can write the stuff down that they're telling you. And then you can circle back and say, you remember you said that, you know, having more time with your children was important to you. Let me show you how you can generate the type of residual income that you would need that will free up your time, where you can buy your time back. Let me give you a testimony about my mentor who was just able to fire his job 3 or 4 weeks ago, and how that works. So you see, you ask them questions to get them talking about what their problems are. And if our program solves their problems, then that's a good fit. Sometimes they have the type of problems that our program can't solve. That's when uncovering value becomes sleazeball selling, because now you're trying to make our program fit their problem, and that's not true. That's where manipulation comes in, right? But if their problems, we have the solution for their problems, we simply have to uncover how our program is a good fit to help them overcome those problems or solve those problems. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if they have problems that our program can't solve, and you're trying to force feed them our program, then you're being a sleazeball salesperson. And that's not what we do here, right? We just show people the value in what we have and how the value in what we have can solve a lot of financial challenges and help you overcome problems, right? Questions. Good question, Shan. And you are doing a good job. You are closing. You're doing a good job. Questions. I'll hang out as long as you guys got questions. If not, I got a business to build. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put the entire song to my intro music song. I'm gonna put that entire song in Dropbox. So if you want to hear that entire song, it's a really, really nice piece. It goes right along with what we talked about yesterday, you know, economic empowerment in our community, because I started off with a 16 bar speech on what we need to be doing. And then, you know, it is a hip hop track. So if you want to check that out, just inbox me and I'll send you the link to that. But no more questions, guys. Come on. Sometimes I get, you know, I struggle to come up with fresh content for you because I want to always give you something new. Even though I know that repetition is the mother of all learning, sometimes it's good for you to hear the same content over and over again. But I want to try to give you something new. And sometimes when you ask questions, I will answer it here. But then I might go back and say, you know what? I need to do an entire show on that topic to really dive deep into some other ancillary questions. Because how many of you guys know that the first question that someone asks is not the real question? It's usually the third or the fourth question. So sometimes I have to drill down to get to the follow-up question and the follow-up question to the follow-up question to get to the real question so I can address the real problem. That's why when we're closing, we have to be asking questions and get people talking. Right, and then they ask us a couple questions. The first question is usually just something that they really don't want to know. They're just trying to get you comfortable so they can ask the second and the third and the fourth question. And it's usually that third and fourth question that they're really trying to get to. Right, that's why you have to learn how to be a better listener than a better talker. How do you draw your audience? Where else do you post ads? Give me a little bit more clarity. Audience for what? Audience for what? See, my audience is, you know, for wealth building. So I know how to target the people who want. So when it comes to targeting audiences, right? What you first have to understand is this is more of a branding question. This is more of a branding question. First and foremost, you have to identify your target audience, right? So I have a message, right? So for me, the brand is the message. What is your message? Who are you? What are you trying to get across? What are you trying to say? That's the brand. Then the marketing is your ability to put the message in front of the right people. Right? So when you say, how do you draw your audience, then you have to look at your message first and foremost. Then you have to say, okay, here's the message. Here's what I'm trying to get across. Then you have to identify your target audience. Who are you trying to reach with this message? Who are you trying to reach with this message? And then you say, okay, here's who I'm trying to reach with this message. Now you have to identify where those people hang out. Right? So got your message, identify your target audience. Who is the target audience? Where do those people hang out? And which medium is the best to reach those people? Right? So it may be Facebook, it may be YouTube, it may be Instagram, it may be Pinterest, it may be Twitter, it may be Snapchat. Right? So you first have to declare your message, identify your target audience, find out where they're hanging out, and then to figure out which medium is the best way to get in front of those people. Right? So did you have your follow-up for that, Monique? Because it's not about just posting ads. You have to know where to post the ads. See, think about Frosty Flakes, right? Kellogg's Frosty Flakes, right? Tony the Tiger, they're great, right? So you think about the message is that this is a cereal that will get you off to the right start with good energy and that kind of thing. The fact that they have the Tony the Tiger cartoon as their mascot or as the brand, then that tells me that they're trying to reach children. So if they're trying to reach children, where are children hanging out? Children are hanging out in front of TVs that show cartoons. So that's where you see those commercials. How often do you hear a Tony the Tiger commercial on the radio? You don't, right? Why not? Because children aren't hanging out around radios listening to the radio. Now you might hear them on a Disney radio station. Sirius and XM has a Disney radio channel. So that medium would work for a audio commercial because children are listening to that music. So you see, they got their brand, they got their mascot, they know who they're trying to reach. They picked a medium to reach those people, and they know where the people they're trying to reach, they know where they hang out. And they constantly put their material in front of those people over and over and over again. So when it comes to branding and marketing, you have to identify your brand, you have to identify your target market, you have to figure out where that target market hangs out. Then you have to figure out the medium that allows them to reach that target market. And then you have to figure out how they like to buy. How do they like to buy? Do they like to buy with cash? Do they like to spend credit cards? Do they like to use PayPal? Because that determines the medium that you're going to use and get them people on. Right? Because if they like to spend cash, then you don't need to be trying to present to them through some sort of medium, because if you're doing Facebook, how they're going to get you the cash. Right? So you have to figure that stuff out. Is that Regina says, is using a lead system good? Using a lead system is extremely good, especially if you're building any sort of business online. You should have some sort of lead capture page. You should have some sort of autoresponder, and you should have a blog or some sort of medium that's going to drive people from that medium to your lead capture page, so they get into your opt-in page and get into your autoresponder, so you can continue to market to them over time. But again, before you can use a lead capture system or a lead system, you have to identify your target market, right? Because I can have a lead capture system and I could be putting videos out in front of children talking about building wealth. How many of those children are going to opt into that lead capture system? None. Children don't give a damn about building no wealth, right? So you have to identify your target market. And I'll give you a couple tips. The best and probably the most effective way to identify your target market is to look in the mirror. The best and the most effective way to identify your target market is to look in the mirror. Chances are you're promoting something that resonates with you. So who are you? Are you a single mom, single dad? Are you married? Or are you recently divorced? Are you young? Are you old? Do you have children? Do you not have children? All of that creates what we call a language for your target market. See, I speak a certain language because I'm a married husband, father of 5, who believes in leaving a legacy for my children. Don't you guys pick that up when I talk? Can't you tell that's what I care about? My family, my legacy, and my community, right? That's who I am. So when I talk, I speak a language that you guys resonate with. You know why? Because somewhere within you, you care about those things too. And the reason you're on this show is because I targeted you. I targeted a message specifically for you that you would resonate with. That's how you landed here. And I speak the language that you guys understand. I speak your language. What is your language? Your language is wealth, not necessarily riches, because I could have been saying, throwing pictures of a whole bunch of money out, talking about let's get rich next week. And half of you wouldn't be here, because that's not the language that you speak. You don't speak the language of riches, you speak the language of wealth. Right? You don't speak the language of driving Bentleys, you speak the language of passing down intergenerational wealth so my children can drive Bentleys. Right? So I speak a different language because I'm targeting and talking to a specific audience. That's why some people jump on the stream and they jump right back off, because I'm not talking their language. And then others jump on the stream and they stay on for a whole 2 hours because I'm talking their language. So you have to understand how to identify your target audience, where they hang out at, what medium that they that's most effective at reaching them, and what is the language of that audience, so you can communicate your message to them in their language, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And you start by looking in the mirror. See, I target people who are like me. I can't tell you the amount of people on my team with my financial success membership that are husbands and fathers, that are youth basketball coaches or youth coaches, whether the sport is basketball or not, or they're youth coaches, and they're active in their communities. They love mentoring kids. You know why that happened? Because I speak a language. I target people who are a lot like me, right? People who are a lot like me. So that's a good place to start when you're trying to build your audience. Can you speak about the address and collections? Yes. So we did what was that? Tuesday we did what you need to know about credit. So what you want to do, if you want to try to fix your credit yourself, right? Now I'm not the expert in how to fix it yourself. I know there are some things that you can do, and here's one of them that I recently learned, and I learned this from my man Juan Pablo. Now, Juan Pablo also does credit restoration. So he is over at 100percentfinance.com, right? But I learned this from him just watching one of his videos on YouTube. And he said, if you have not contacted the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, to wipe off any addresses that is not your current address, then that's how your creditors are able to find you and report negative credit. See, the credit bureaus have 3 points that they have to verify before they're able to put something on your report. They verify your address, they verify your name, they verify your social. See, this is all done on automated, because they don't have the capacity to go in and verify everything by hand and manually, so they just automate it. So a creditor sends a credit file to them and says H. Cortez owes money. It says H. Cortez, this debt originated when he was living at this address, and then the credit bureaus are going to say, yep, we have this address on file for H. Cortez. They're going to say this is his name, H. Cortez or Hernando. Yep, this is the name that we have. One of these names also matches. And then they're going to say, we have this social security number associated with this debt. And the credit bureaus are going to say, yep, this is the social security number that we have for H. Cortez. So yes, we'll put this this trade line on his report. But here's where you get slick. I have one current address, been here for 10 years. Now, I haven't done this, but this is what Nove Money is doing for me, because I just don't have time to do it myself. Taking all of those credit bureaus and saying, you know what? H. Cortez has one address. Remove any other addresses from his file. And you have a right to do that. Remove any other addresses from his file. So what that means is, if a creditor is coming after me and they don't have my one current address, the credit bureaus will not accept that trade line because they can't verify all 3 of those points. They can verify my name, they can verify my social, and they're saying this address that you have, there's no address on file associated with H. Cortez, so we can't put this on this report. So I think that's real slick. And that works for things that you have in collections from years and years ago, right? Things you have in collection from years and years ago. And believe it or not, things that went into collection years and years ago, those people are still trying to get that stuff on your report. Well, remove all those addresses, and that can prevent some of those old collection items from ever hitting your report. Now, it doesn't stop them from trying to collect. They just can't report it. And if they can't report it, they can't drag your credit score down for some debts that you owed 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, which in a lot of cases, the statute of limitation has passed on those things. So you want to do some research and see what the statute of limitation on debts and collections are in your state. Some states is 4 years, some states is 6 years, some states is 7 years. have been historically programmed to believe that it's 7 years across the board. That's not the case. So that's why you have to study this stuff on your own. Will you do another group one-on-one for those that missed group one-on-one? If you're talking about a training at my house, Shan, yes, I might do one tomorrow. I can't quite follow. Will you do another group one-on-one for those that missed? So yeah, so maybe we'll do, I think you're talking about some private training for the local team here in St. Louis, then yes, I'm definitely going to do that. If you want to clarify that question, if you're still on, let me know, and I can give you some more direction. Joseph Kelly, peace, my man. Is using the lead capture system good? We tackled that one already. We appreciate brother. Thanks, Gary. Yes, it makes sense. Thank you. Rachel says she's got it. Okay, cool. Any other questions, guys? We're a little over 8, but I started at like 7:15 this morning. Guys, that bed gets really, really good right around 6:27 or so. I used to be able to get up at 5:30. Now, I mean, it really gets good. It really starts wrapping me real tight at around 6:22, 6:27. It gets harder and harder for me to get out of bed, but I love you guys. So I'll be here for you every morning, at least to 100 episodes. Maybe we'll rock out 200 episodes. I don't know, man. I like doing this. Also, be on the lookout for my late night show. Thinking about doing a late night show, because if you notice, I try not to cuss here in the morning, and I'm not a big cusser, but sometimes you just got to drop an F-bomb to get your point across, right? So I don't want to do that early in the morning. So I might do a late night show where it's a little bit more raw, and everything that I say on this show, I don't know if you can tell, I try to be politically correct in the sense that I just don't want to turn people off who are just trying to, who are taking those first baby steps to building wealth and understanding legacy and things of that nature. But some of you guys have been around a while, and some of you guys know that you're bullshitting, right? Some of you guys are doing a lot of talking and not a lot of action, and some of you guys are going to need a stern talking to. So that might be the late night show. It might be the late night show. It might be the late night show, where I can just talk to you, real. I have a resource. If our team wants to fix their credit themselves, we'll share with the team later. That's super awesome. Super awesome. And you can share it here too. So for those of you who want to fix your credit yourself, yeah, share that, Tanya. It's all good. I mean, we're trying to help here. So if you got a resource, we don't have to reserve it just for our team. Although if you're listening and you're not, you don't already have our financial success membership, then you need to get it. We've got 3 more days while it's free, right? You can come on for free, and then it's just $35 per month and maintain the membership. So if you guys like what I teach you here, just imagine what happens if you come on our team. And you don't have to sign up with me. You can sign up with some of our other teammates who listen to the show. So I need to fix my credit. So yeah, Tanya, share that resource here. And then if you can fix it yourself, go that route. If you don't, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Whatever platform you're using, like I said, Nova is what I'm doing. But maybe people don't have $400 over the next 4 months to do it. If they want to fix it themselves, then they can investigate the program that you're using to fix it yourself. So yeah, just share it. We're just trying to fix. We're just trying to help, man. So whatever you think can help, man. I'm not the person who says. Now I will tell you to go hustle on your own block if you're trying to hawk products and stuff. But if you're bringing some content that's going to help our people fix their credit, build wealth, or whatever the case may be, man. You guys know I've had guests on the show who do other programs and things of that nature. I'm not that guy, man. I want you guys to build wealth in whatever platform that you think you should be building wealth on, whether it's my platform, somebody else's platform, whether you want to do it through insurance, whether you want to do it through Mary Kay, whether you want to do it through Primerica. Don't matter, man. Just get your money up. Get your money up. get some residual and passive income in your life, because the day will come when you cannot work, don't want to work, or you're not wanted by an employer to work. You better have some other streams of income coming in, because the only day that you will no longer need an income is the day they put you in the ground. Until the day they put you in the ground, you will need an income. So it's best to start building some residual and passive incomes parallel to your job, so that you can dictate your own terms, right? I was able to fire my job because I'm dictating my own terms, because of what I built in parallel with my job over the last 20 years. So now I was able to dictate to my job, you're fired, before they got a chance to dictate to me that I'm fired, right? So you want to put yourself in position that, you know what, you're building something, something's going to last, something's going to support the family. And what you do is, while you're building though, you're building that side income, you use that side income to keep that business building and keep that business growing. Don't take your side income and increase your lifestyle. Now your side income goes to paying bills and stuff. No. Your side income is to build your side business, to one day your side business income overruns your job income. Then you can decide whether or not you want to fire your boss. So a lot of people create an extra $1,000 a month, and then they upgrade their car. So the money that comes from the business pays for the new car instead of gets reinvested into the business. See, businesses that grow really rapidly and solidly, those businesses reinvest every dime of profit back into the business for the first 10 years. Then when that cash flow is stabilized, they can take some of the profits from the business and upgrade their lifestyle just a little bit. Right? But we're of the instant gratification, where now my business makes $1,000. Now I can get me $1,000 a month car. No, that ain't how that works, man. You got to reinvest your business till you get your business to a $10,000 a month cash flow. Then you can afford $1,000 a month car. Then you reinvest the $9,000 a month back into the business. Then you get that business to grow to a $20,000 a month cash flow. Then you can upgrade your lifestyle by 10% again. Does that make sense? See, some of us scale our lifestyles up faster than we scale our businesses up. And that's why we end up becoming upside down in the business. Good morning, everyone. Candace Ivory with Lioness Wealth Therapy is in the house. That is my girl, Candace, from Lioness Wealth Therapy. Needed your words of encouragement this morning. Let's have some fun while we build this weekend as we close out the month. Yes, most definitely. Guys, if you are seriously considering our financial success membership, our free promo ends October 31st, midnight Eastern time. So you can come on board with any of the leaders here on the team, and just let them know that, hey, you want the financial success membership. You know, it's $35 a month. It's free to join right now. You can ask some questions, but you got 30 days to get to find out what it is that we do before your first $35 a month is due. So just come on board and ask your questions and learn as you earn, right? We can start building wealth with you while you're learning. And then if we can't turn your finances around by the time your first $35 a month payment is due, you can cancel and never pay anything. That way you haven't lost anything but a little time, right? You don't sign a contract with us and say, yes, you come on for free and now we got you $35 a month, a 12-month contract. No, that ain't how we get down, man. We believe that our program is so solid that you're going to want to be around. And $35 a month is nothing for the value that you're going to get, right? So you guys can do that. So let's go 4 more minutes. It's 16 after. We'll go to 8:20. Anybody got 1 or 2 last questions? 1 or 2 last questions. If not, we can get on out of here. Shan said she didn't want to say my house. No, you can say my house, just don't say the address, Shan. We're good. Yes, we meet at my house for my local team. Sometimes we meet at my house for training. So yes, any new team members that came on board in St. Louis, let's schedule some time where we can meet face to face. Let me check my schedule, Shan, and we'll figure out some time where you guys can come over to the house. Hopefully it's a time that works for everybody, and maybe we'll stream it too, because I do have a game plan that I want to roll out for everybody for these last 3 days, man. And let's close this thing out with a bang. Let's everybody go out and bring on 10 more people, you know, in these last 3 days. And I think we can do it. I think people realize the value of what we have. People realize that we are in this thing to help them. So I think it's all good. No more questions. No more questions. 3 more minutes. And thank you, Facebook. You did a good job. The stream did not cut out on me today. Got a little shaky at times, but it didn't cut out. Cut out on YouTube, though. I mean, you guys are about that green smoothie life, man. About a quart every day. About a quart every day. So that's the other show that I have coming. I wouldn't say next week. In a couple weeks, is the Health and Wealth Hour. Well, we'll take the first 30 minutes and we'll talk about you know, the correlation between health and wealth. I think what I'll do is set my kitchen up and show you guys some of my green smoothie recipes, some of the things that I do. Maybe we do some sprouting, and you know, maybe I'll take you out into the garden for the first 30 minutes and show you, you know, as I prepare my greenhouse. It's a little late. I didn't cover it up, so maybe I'll cover it up for you guys and plant some winter greens and things of that nature, so you can see that health and wealth are synonymous, right? They're synonymous to being good, to being in good health. It's synonymous with success and building wealth, just like it's synonymous with it's synonymous with the fact that if you don't maintain your health and you acquire wealth, in your later years, you will spend your wealth trying to regain your health, right? If you gain a lot of wealth but don't take care of your health, then you will ultimately spend your wealth trying to recover your health. So why not build them both at the same time? So I'm building my health and my wealth at the same time. That's one of the reasons that I coach youth basketball, because it keeps me on the court. It keeps me in the gym running and chasing after these kids, and that keeps me fit. That keeps me fit. Did you fix the blind yet? There's no sun coming in, right? Yes, I just put a big curtain up right now. I did go and buy the rod and system to put up, so I'll be installing that today and get my wife some nice curtains for the kitchen. Health and wealth are a perfect combination. You're exactly right. And maybe we'll have Ray J come on and be a guest on the show, because she's going through a molecular transformation in her health right now. And I don't think she minds me sharing, because she does her show. If you guys don't follow Ray J and what she's doing, her own case study, she went and had herself tested, and because of some things that she's gone through, some battles she had to overcome health-wise, they basically said that her molecular structure is equivalent to that of a 90-year-old person. And look at Ray J. She's not 90 years old, right? So she's in the process of restoring that. So we'll get her on one morning to give her testimony, and how because she's also a part of our wealth building program, how she's taken this trifecta. She's looking at her physical health, she's looking at her financial health, and the correlation between the two, reducing stress and all that stuff in her life, is creating a sound emotional health. And that's the trifecta, guys. That's the trifecta: financial health, physical health, emotional health. And when you have emotional health, you also incorporating your spiritual health, your relationships, and things of that nature, right? So that's the trifecta. So maybe we get her on the show and she do her testimony and share with you guys what she's going through, the battles that she's overcome so far. She has an awesome, awesome testimony. In fact, she's getting ready to go live this morning. So if you guys want to jump over to her page, Ray J Johnson, send her a friend request. send her a friend request, and then check out her live stream, because she's doing a daily deal where she's going into a deep dive about, you know, what she's overcome and what she's overcoming, and she's just a wonderful spirit. So you guys can definitely check her out over there, and maybe we'll get her on the show next week to talk about the transformation that she's undergoing, because I think it's going to be amazing. I know it is. I can't wait as she continues to go down this path. I can't wait to see her on the other end, because she's already fantastic now. So imagine when she gets her health all the way in order and she gets that youthful exuberance back. I think she's just going to be amazing. That's going to be an amazing testimony. And then she's running with me, so we're going to get her money all the way up too. So now she's going to have her health up and her wealth up. So you guys better look out. So with that, guys, I'm out of here. I am your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my best to bring practical, proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women. If you want that track, let me know. I will get that over to you. You know, our intro music, I think it's a phenomenal song. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to just throw it up on YouTube and put some images up, and so that thing, so we can share that thing with the world. But until I talk to you on Monday, I want you guys to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, people.